$1.3 or $1.4 trillion. I think it's a reflection despite some massive headwinds.
So what he's saying there is that you're going to be rich. As expected, the price of XRP has taken a little bit of a dip, much expected because, well, the Swell event has come to an end and people have sold the news or the lack thereof. But it's not as bad as it seems. This really is a compound effect of people that were going to sell XRP anyway. And of course, people selling Bitcoin here. It's natural that if something goes up this quickly, that it takes a bit of a correction. And of course, it dipped a little bit lower because of liquidations. So at this point, we were starting to approach extreme greed. We were moving from greed to extreme greed. And of course, when that happens, people throw on ridiculous 100x's, 50x's when it comes to leverage. So they get liquidated very quickly, bring the price down to 35,600 and something odd on the wick. And of course, immediately bought up back to, 36. But if you think about it, right, if you look at the 4-hour chart, you can see that basically we've just wicked down to the previous pump, or even above the previous pump. So in a couple of days' time, we'll be probably above 37 again, 38, 39, maybe even 40. So nothing to worry about. Same is going to happen with XRP. As you can see, XRP pumps really quickly when it does, and it just goes, right? 73 cents is only one pump away. Anyway, so actually this video is not about charts. I just wanted to point that out because I did mention that in my previous video that was going to happen. Let's talk about Swell and some of the important things that happened. The official Ripple Twitter account or X account sent out some videos, clips and sound bites of some of the important stuff that people said. So I'm just going to comment on all of those videos in this video. So let's start with this one here.
We first established our presence here as a company in 2020, recognizing that here in Dubai is
Okay, that's the president of Ripple.
a place where the blockchain industry was really blossoming and further supported very critically by regulators in the UAE. So we can thank DFSA and VARA for setting some clear rules and regulations for an industry and innovation to take place.
Okay, so that's the opening remark. By the way, if you're wondering why the UAE and why Dubai, I think this next video perfectly answers that question.
Collaboration is always much more successful.
By the way, these guys are CEOs of like HSBC and some of the larger organizations.
Providing we have a set understanding of what the rules of the game are, and that really comes down to the regulatory aspect that we have, that ensures that at the end of the day, the owner of the asset can sleep at night in the knowledge that they know what they own and they have legal title to it. It's being kept in a secure way.
So those are HSBC and Metaco. So they're talking about custody, right? So that those billionaires and trillionaires and organizations with bottomless money can rest assured that their funds are not going to get burnt by forgetting, their seed phrase or whatever. But we geeks are used to that, but they are not. Okay, next video.
Dubai and the DIFC are leading the way and are shaping the future of finance.
Would you look at this city, man? It looks something from the future. You can see that the authorities in Dubai are so forward thinking. Look at this city. It's so futuristic that, aren't they building like an electric only city somewhere in the UAE as well? That's just 100% electricity and crypto run. I have that in the back of my head somewhere. I'm gonna have to do some research on that and maybe do a video on it.
I believe that events like Swell are very important because it brings all the parties within that ecosystem in one place to talk to each other. So you will have the bankers, you will have the tech and innovation companies, you will have regulators, all of them sitting and talking to each other. And these are forums where we can discuss the challenges and put them on the table.
By the way, hold on, let me just back that up a little bit. That is the setting that I used for my clickbait thumbnail. a lot of you guys complained that it was a clickbait, the millionaires, billionaires. Like, isn't exactly what they said, but that was the energy, the essence of what, basically they were discussing at the time. So yeah, it was a little bit clickbaity, but that's YouTube for you.
Dubai is the hub of hubs. Those companies can really leverage from and use.
Yep, agree. Dubai is where it's at. More from Alia El-Zaruni.
So I would say digital assets as a whole. This is a $1 trillion
There you go, there's $1 trillion. So it wasn't just billionaires, it's trillionaires.
industry that obviously the IFC cannot ignore. We strive to embrace it really and ensure that we regulate it and we ensure that we provide those opportunities and protection to the investors and those that are using those digital assets to unlock that potential. DFSA has issued a number of years ago to allow those companies dealing with crypto and blockchain to test their products before they launch them to the market. There was also the crypto token regime where the XRP got approved really recently.
Sorry, can I just stop? What a contrast to the United States and Gary Gensler. So while the SEC and Gary Gensler are trying to slow down XRP, kneecap everything that they're doing in America, slow down innovation, tax people to hell, here in Dubai and the UAE, they're forward thinking, they're approving stuff, they're granting access to stuff. They have a can-do attitude, and it's showing.
Also embraces those technologies, and we've recently also announced the Dubai AI and Web3 campus and the DIFC to attract more than 500 international AI and Web3 companies.
There you go. So that the SEC is also going after AI, right? So when they're done with crypto, or maybe they're doing it simultaneously, AI is the next adversary. Guess where all those AI companies are going to go? Guess where all those Web3 companies are going to go?
Is to come and set up shop in the UAE.
That's right. That is right. I'm telling you, Gary Gensler, man, he's like single-handedly destroying the economy of the United States. All right, what's going on here? Oh, Fireside Chat with Bitsman here.
Any closing comments as it relates to where the industry's headed?
Now we've got, in a lot of regions, real clarity on the regulations around that. I think the next 12, 18 months of delivering against that as they come into effect, as the solutions come matching that, and as the market has now hopefully stabilized, is now starting to pick up a little. I think seeing how the start of this next cycle runs is going to be really interesting as a predictor for how quickly that moves.
Okay, interesting. Okay, this is just a walkthrough of the event. Man, I wish I was there, man. Look at all these people. Can't imagine having access to all these minds, man. The world of finance and crypto and all these people together, just throwing around ideas. Handshakes happening here and there, networking together. Not running from the SEC. All right, let's move on to something more important. Okay, so blockchain is the future of yes. Let's see what he's got to say.
Tokenization is the future. It's the question of how we get there and what speed we do that. There's been a lot of conversation about regulation and compliance, but equally and just as important, there's a lot of conversation about real world cases, about solving problems in today's world. And it's great to be here to be able to talk externally with other players about how we should all work together.
Yep. Okay, next one.
As a regulator, how do you think about the speculative nature of the technology?
I actually think that the technology is playing out. It's something that we have to embrace.
It's inevitable.
And figure out a way how we can make sure there's regulatory capture for investor protections.
Yep. Okay. We must embrace technology.
capital inflow into the UAE has accelerated in a faster rate than
Yep.
ever before.
Absolutely.
More millionaires have moved to the UAE than ever before. More companies have been set up than ever before.
Do you know where those companies are all coming from and why they're moving to the UAE?
More hedge funds have moved offices here in the UAE than ever before. With that, I think the UAE has established itself as a center not just for blockchain and crypto, but the wider emerging technologies space.
100%. I agree with that. Okay, next one.
We know for a fact Dubai is embracing these new technologies. They are creating
God,
an
look at that.
environment that's conducive to
I have never been to
innovation.
Dubai, by the way. It's one of my
It
on my
would
checklist.
be irresponsible for the bank not to learn these technologies and adapt to stay relevant. Now hearing from the regulators here in Dubai, it also sets an example. So this is very inspiring to the regulators from the Philippines. Will definitely inspire our own regulators to do the same thing.
Okay, so like, I agree 100%. Now, HSBC has made a move. Some banks are talking. Look, it's inevitable. This is just new technology. It's a paradigm shift. They all have to adopt it or fade away, right? And the ones that adopt it first are going to get first mover advantage. And the ones that don't are just going to fade away and become irrelevant. Just like the checkbook and was it the order book, whatever it is they used in the 1960s.
What happened was they were entrepreneurs, there was venture capital that was available, and the regulation was out of the way. Exactly the same thing is happening in Dubai for crypto. This is where magic on crypto is happening, and that's the reason we are here. So with thousands of these conversations that are happening here over these 2 days, they will get converted into intention, and intention into action. And action will be partnerships, people building newer companies, people collaborating with each other, selling to each other, getting licensed. So it will launch into multiple streams for each company and each participant that is here. And that's what Ripple is here for, to enable that ecosystem to succeed.
Yep. So I agree with that. A lot of things that weren't even on the schedule, on the agenda, would have happened as great minds meet each other, throw ideas at each other. What would have taken maybe months or years would just happen over a drink and a handshake, new connections made, new announcements coming. I'm so excited about this stuff, man. And of course, Ripple is there, and XRP, to provide the infrastructure for all of this stuff to happen. All right, what's this?
Mobile money, which is where really digital payment started in Africa, is instant native. What we've done as MFS Africa was to take that instant capability cross-border. When we move money between Kenya and Uganda, we go through those 2 layers, as I mentioned, the messaging layer, the compliance layer, and we have to do all of this and the settlement for the end user in less than 45 seconds. If it takes 5 minutes, the sender is going to call. If it takes an hour, he is going to come. Not just call. He doesn't believe that the
Yeah, exactly. There's a trust
we were
issue.
able to do that at the level of Africa, and we continue to do that. We process, hundreds of thousands of these transactions every day.
Can I just say, okay, so that's a classic example of something that I always say. Now, in the West here, a lot of us see things like XRP as, a paradigm shift, new technology, etc. Some of us see it as, a store of value, a way that we're going to get rich, whatever. In some of these countries out in, Africa and South America and Asia, they are actually thinking about the infrastructure of, the XRP ledger and, the Ripple Net technology thing. They are thinking of it on an infrastructure level. How do they solve real life, everyday problems? Like he said, payments, merchants, settlements and things like this, where there's a trust issue, a counterparty risk and things like this. And Ripple provides instant, low cost, trustless payment systems across the board in the fastest way they've ever seen, very quickly, and in a way that they can leapfrog the existing infrastructure, the clunky stuff that we have over here that we have to basically clean out to put this new stuff in. Mobile payments isn't new in Africa. Mobile payments is something that is very, very, people are comfortable with. People have used it for many, many years. There's that M-Pesa system in Kenya, for instance. There are multiple mobile payment systems in West Africa, in Nigeria, Ghana, and Senegal. So moving on to the Ripple net or the XRP network ledger infrastructure is going to be a breeze. It's something that's going to happen naturally. It's like African countries are crypto natives, I think you can say. All right, let's go to the next video.
There's an increase in demand for paying crypto for merchants. It's
definitely.
not only for luxury goods that the merchant would like to offer paying crypto to their clients, but also different marketplaces, and major marketplaces are looking for this. So that's a very positive development. Difficult in the background to manage it as well, because you go into, with big players, you go into different geographies and depending on licensing and etc.
Yeah.
But there's definitely demand paying crypto, demand on the on-ramping, off-ramping piece as well.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, he's talking about the ISO 20022 standard, which was standardized payments across the world and ease some of these hurdles, you know, regulatory hurdles, legal hurdles, counterparty hurdles, liquidity, and infrastructure, setting up the payment systems. All of this on the infrastructure level, XRP is going to basically solve this problem for the industry. Okay, is Polygon. So, you know, Polygon is another blockchain, and of course, they're now perceiving XRP as a infrastructure level solution.
For the developer community, what more can we do?
I think one thing that could be beneficial for them is to ease of setting up the company and bank account and all that. It's still very problematic. I think we need to solve that problem for the whole crypto founders community.
So, I mean, I know that's a short clip, but I had to look at what he was saying earlier as well. Basically, XRP is going to be to other cryptocurrencies just like Chainlink is to, you know, other cryptocurrencies, where Chainlink is the oracle, and so many cryptos use Chainlink as infrastructure when it comes to pricing data and blockchain data, right? So XRP can also provide payment solutions and bridging solutions, infrastructure solutions to other cryptos, especially when it comes to, you know, worldwide development and, you know, just dealing with these real life issues of bank accounts and setting up infrastructure and stuff like that, which is pretty much what he is saying there. And I couldn't agree more. This is the man himself. Let me see what he's got to say.
It's always hard to know what drives crypto rallies. I've been doing this for a while. You and I have talked about this stuff for a while. Even after all these years, it's still sometimes I'm like, what's going on? I think the crypto market overall is up 20 to 30% this year. I think this morning it was around 1.3 or 1.4 trillion dollars. I think it's a reflection despite some massive headwinds.
So what he's saying there is that you're going to be rich. That's basically the summary. And I couldn't agree more. So it's been a nice event. I've enjoyed following along. I hope that they release longer videos so that people can have a watch in their own time. I've read a heck of a lot of articles and summaries that people have written. And I'm so excited about the future. And hopefully I'll be covering some of that on this channel. Not financial advice, do your own research. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.